Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Luke has came out with a video that, something y'all should hear. Uncle Luke, as you know, he's from 2 Live Crew. He's definitely had a history in hip hop and definitely pushing the edge. What Luke was pushing back then, you look at today, it may look tame. But I want you to hear what he talks about the gatekeepers, and also he gets into the Democrat Party and how they really lost black men. Let's go ahead and roll that.
The bushy people. I love my friend Roland Martin. I don't like Al Sharpton. Those are the gatekeepers. Jamel Hill. My girl on TV, Joy Reid. They're the gatekeepers. And I do not like fat ass Simone under no circumstances. And yeah, I said it. Don't like her. As soon as she come on TV, I turn the TV off. I look at MSNBC and they put her on there and I turn that ASAP. Don't want to even listen to nothing she got to say. Thank God they got rid of Don Lemon, another snobbish person. If you look at cable TV, cable news, you'll see what they feel like the representative of the black community are. Look at them people. Them people don't relate to us. And that's who they cater to. My girl Kamala Harris, they committed to cater to elite people, and they send them in. So how do we get the black men? You lost the black men. The Democratic Party lost the black men. Because the Democratic Party, look, I have no problem with my gay and lesbian friends. I'm okay with them, but they catered more to the gay and lesbian community and the Hispanic community and the feminist women community, and they the black man and the women.
Now, Luke, let me say something to you, brother. Roland Martin, you may like him, but he's a gatekeeper too. He's part of that bunch because Roland Martin has had access to a lot of these politicians, and Roland Martin hasn't gotten anything done. He hasn't pushed anything. He had nothing he could say, hey, I pushed on Congressman this, I pushed on Congresswoman that. They put up this bill because I kept pushing it. I kept helping them expose it, X, Y, Z. Roland Martin have no wins. The only thing that Roland Martin can do is really try to get him some funding from somebody. And that's really what Roland Martin wants. He wants funding. He's not out here trying to push anything for the black community. All the other people that you mentioned, I mean, you're kind of preaching to the choir. Maybe that's new for you, but all of them up there, you mentioned Joy Reid and Jamel Hill. Yes, we know that, right? Now, you mentioned about black men, how the Democrat Party has lost black men. Well, they lost black men because they have nothing for the black man. Now, Luke touched on some of it, because they prioritize migrants, prioritize LGBT, and all that sort of things that they prioritize, with this administration, prioritizing foreigners, giving them all kind of money, papering them up, right? And yes, Luke is right. LGBT is not a black man issue. It's not. But let me say something here is now that Kamala Harris has kind of came in the mix, with this situation. Now Democrats are already starting to I'm talking about the black ones, starting to make a mistake because some of them are starting to attack black men already. And I would say this much, attacking black men not going to get a single black man to vote for Kamala Harris. Y'all tried that same strategy with Stacey Abrams. And you see what ended up happening in that election? So I would warn you, don't come out attacking black men because you're not going to get the result that you want if you go and attack black men, belittling black men, making videos about black men all day long. Because call it what it is. You talking about Kamala Harris, your biggest issue going to be white women. That's going to be your issue. And when them exit polls come out, it'll show it like every single time. White women will not stand with black women on anything. Because let's call it what it is, black women. That's trying to, some of you, not all of you, because a lot of you smart. A lot of you know what Kamala's done, her history. She's sit up here and say she's not going to do nothing for black people. You already know that. So I ain't got to go down that route, at least not in this particular podcast. But the issue is with the Democrat Party is that they want to do lift-all programs, but lift-all programs don't work for black people. Let me tell you why. Just to give you an easy example. If black people got $100, and let's say black men, they like to focus on us in particular, black men got $10, the white man and all of them got more money, let's say that, right? Well, if you do a lift-off program, say I'm gonna give all of y'all $100, then if the white man got $100 or $200, you give us all 100, then the white man gonna have $200 and we gonna have 110. So even though you did a lift-off program and everybody got it the same across the board, we still behind. The only thing that the Democrats have to do, if they're serious about the black community, in which they have proven they are not serious, they have to bring the black man up to the $100 level. Once they get the black man and woman up to the $100 level, then you could do a lift-all program at that point, and then everybody benefits because everybody's at equal footing. You got to bring everybody to equal footing in order for lift-all programs to work, or you're still going to have a disparity. We have a disparity because of slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, economic sabotage, putting drugs in our community. And, you know, it's been done by them, mass incarceration. You know, our families are targeted for destruction. So many different things has happened to us and put us in that position. Our position isn't a natural position. Like, we just didn't want to work. We were lazy. We were just drinking, smoking, hanging out. And that's how we got in this position. No. And they know that because the majority of black people want to work. The majority of black people now want either a job or a business, and they want to be self-sufficient, and we want to do for ourselves. They know this. This is why they work so hard to sabotage black Americans. They still sabotaging black Americans now. Because black Americans not having access to capital, black Americans not having access to certain land, to certain grants, to certain scholarships, funding for different things, no matter what it is, because you look at a guy like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or any of them kind of guys, most of those guys got funding. Those guys did not make that money off their own, right? And that's what creates the wealth gap. They don't go into the government subsidies that these men have received from the federal government to do what they're doing. Now they're billionaires and they're still receiving it. To this day, they're still receiving it. Now they get on here talking about they don't want you to receive it. And they'll sit up here and talk about handouts with you. And yet everything these guys get is handouts. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I don't want black people to have this attitude like, well, I don't need nothing from the government. Yes, you do. All these folks during the pandemic and all that, they got every kind of money they could get. EIDL, PPP, food stamps. Them people line up for free government assistance. But they'll gaslight you and say, you lazy, you getting good. No, they do that because y'all silly enough to believe them, and they laughing at you because there's more money for them to get. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell black people, get all the government assistance you need. If you're in a position where you need it, no matter what it is, you got a business, go to the SBA, go whatever you got to go to get money for whatever you need. We just had a hurricane. If you qualify for a disaster loan or whatever the case may be for your business or your home, go get it through the SBA. Go sign up. Don't you feel bad about trying to get no government money. You pay all these taxes. You deserve money. Get FEMA if you qualify. I just say make sure you qualify. Don't try to scam. But if you qualify, get all what you need. But black men in particular, as this campaign go, because Kamala Harris is going to, try to run a campaign. Kamala Harris has got an uphill climb to do with black people, definitely, and with black men in particular. Kamala got to answer questions from 2020. Kamala got to answer why she locked up black parents on the truancy laws. Kamala got to answer why she kept black men in prison longer than what they should have been, just so they can keep the prison clean. She got an answer for that. She never answered those questions. She got to answer why she sit up here and say she's not going to do it specifically for black people. She got to answer that. She can't act like Tyler when she was asked about colored, and when you ask her that question, she can't turn to somebody else. You can't do that. Oh, no. Those questions got to be answered. And for sure, black men aren't impressed with you saying you're the first black this, the first black. First of all, this is from 2020 to now, you got the delineation movement. So if you want to look at in the area of delineation, Kamala is not a descendant of slave in America. Now, she a descendant of slave in the Caribbean, but she's not a descendant of slave in America. So she got to navigate delineation too. because everybody see that Kamala only likes to play black when it's time to get something out of black people. And then when she don't get what she need out of black people, she don't even mention nothing about black. She don't say nothing. So she gonna have to deal with that too. It's a lot she gonna have to deal with this time versus in 2020. You got to remember, her campaign fizzled out in 2020. You understand what I'm saying? Biden, I mean, some people calling her a DEI hire. I know when they say DEI, they literally saying the N-word. That's what they're saying. Because, that they have to use, first they were calling everybody CRT. Now they're calling you DEI and all that sort of thing like that, right? But we know that Biden picked her just to get the black vote. And that's what he got. He got the black vote. You got all these black women going out and supporting this woman. And like I said, I'll talk more about some things in the stream on African Diaspora. I can have more time to talk about it. But I see them all up here excited about this lady. And I'm just shaking my head and like, what has she done for black people? She hasn't done anything for black people. What's her plan for black people? Is she going to do reparations to the form of cash payments? Like, is she going to do the anti-black hate crime bill? What is she going to do? What is she going to do? That's the key question. What is she going to do for black people at this stage? And as black men, we're asking, what are you going to do for black men? So we can take care of our families. That include, the women in our community, the children in our community, and anyone else that's in our families. We need to take care of them. So that's why black men are asking questions. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And so-called being black, they haven't gotten us anywhere. We focusing on the policy, not a party. So y'all can miss me with all that first black woman stuff. No. That don't work. What policies you going to have that's going to benefit? Because see, Biden's out the picture. So we can't talk about him. We ain't talk about his policies no more. Now it's Kamala's turn to get right back on the hot seat to figure out what is she gonna do. We gotta look at her website. What policy you gonna put on your website? We gotta take the time to go through her website and look at that too. You understand what I'm saying? And if we don't see nothing for black people on her website, then we gotta say something about that. Is she gonna be just an extension of Biden and just do for everybody except black people? Well, what are we going to do? Is she going to be out there promoting, continuation of illegal immigration and flooding the zone in black communities? What is she going to do? We got to know that. So until she say that, you can't lead me with no, let's vote for her because she black. Look, them days are gone, bruh. I'm just supporting everybody black. No. Because you could be supporting a black devil. So no. I like to support people in the community, but I got to make sure that person's good and good for the community. Because if someone outside the community is better for the community, then we go with them because they got better policies that can benefit the community. Now, this whole race got changed. Now Trump is not going to see. He was cruising to the presidency. Now he's going to have to work for it a little bit. Do I think that he can beat her head to head? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But this is the thing. He will have to work for it a little bit more than what he would have if it was Biden. Because she's going to get probably all the black women vote minus a few. I said minus a few because some black women ain't for her at all. But all you have all the black voters matter. You're going to have all the sororities. You're going to have they're going to make this into a big thing with the women, with the black women. But when it comes to us as black men, Democrats still lost us. It doesn't make a difference if you sit up here and raise up Kamala and she's been promoted. Now she's an elite employee in the Democrat Party. It don't matter. Don't matter. What are you going to do? That's all. And if you're not going to do nothing, black men are prepared to do the same thing they were prepared to do when it was Biden that was running. Now, we see some contention in the Democrat Party. Yes, Biden endorsed her, but Obama, Pelosi, and Schumer, they want an open convention. If you do an open convention and that woman's not the nominee, then those black women is going to become a thorn in their side. And it's going to be Bernie Sanders situation all over again. So I don't know what Obama, Pelosi, and Schumer wants an open convention for. I think that would be dumb at this point if you're trying to salvage the election, especially this close away. But let's see what happens. But as of right now, yes, they have lost black men. And let me tell you something. You say, oh, the majority of black men, they vote Democrat. Only thing you can quantify is the black men that showed up to vote. Let's quantify how many registered voters voted that's in the black community and how many registered voters did not vote. That's the numbers we have to look at. Because I still believe the couch will win this election. Kamala Harris don't get black men excited. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm already seeing some of these women talking about, oh, they just don't like black women, misogyny. All them terms you're using, you really going to turn black men off. Because what I'm seeing is they're trying to gender war. Black men not even mentioning that as a whole from what I see. They already starting gender warring. Do you think gender warring with black men is going to get them say, you know what? I want to go vote for Kamala now. No, that's just not going to happen. So don't do that. Kamala got to bring some concrete policies to black men for black men to say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to vote for Kamala because she's giving some concrete policies that would benefit. But trying to pull a sister girl thing, saying, oh, hey, you know, brother, like that, and let's call it what it is. I want y'all to notice something else. Now, if that was a black man married to a white Jewish woman, it'd be all kind of conversation about that. But them women, see how they rallied behind her? They didn't say nothing about her husband at all, right? But if it was a brother that was married to a white Jewish woman, it'd be all a conversation talking about him and why he couldn't marry a black woman and all that sort of thing. Umar would have been talking about him. Everybody's silent about that situation. That's just a little side conversation, right? And nobody got nothing to say, you know, because at least Barack Obama, you know, you disagree with him or not, you know, a lot of people got behind Barack Obama because they said, man, a black family in the White House, you know what I'm saying? It's a good look. A lot of people said that at the time. So that's going to come up. But aside from some of that, because that's just conversations people have in the black community, right? You know, I mean, she was with Downtown Willie Brown. She was with a lot of brothers. Like, what happened with that? She didn't have a history of that. But, you know, to each his own. But let's just see what she presents. I'm a firm believer at the end of the day, that's her relationship. But let's see what she presents. Let's see what she presents. Let's see what policy she presents. Let's just see. You know, maybe she'll shock us. I don't know. Maybe she'll listen enough. But she got a lot of questions she got to answer that goes all the way back to 2020. And she cannot avoid them questions. Vice President Kamala Harris, you cannot pull a Tyler and look away and laugh or no. You got to answer them questions we talked about earlier about your history. And if you don't